Welcome back to Spyro 2 Reacknowledged. Reignited!
Re-acknowledge the franchise.
This was more or less within that era where Crash and Spyro were re-acknowledged for the HD scene.
So it was intentional after all. I tricked you.
Welcome to the wacky world of the Mystic Marsh.
Oh shit! Those snails suddenly turned into the elephant troops from Jungle Book.
No, it's the elephant from the Tarzan land.
And that's how Pokemon works.
Also, this guy looks really weird.
Yeah.
What's he supposed to be?
A Muppet. What do you think he's
No,
supposed to
like
be?
even in the original, I wouldn't even call these guys Muppets. They just look like weirdo hippies and ponytails.
They just look weird.
They're weirdos, okay?
So I don't know if I point this out, but with the little snail, the elephant snail thingies, it was so weird because like I thought it was like, because it's like if you actually look closely at the model of the snails when they're like all snailed up or whatever, is that it's not an elephant anymore. It's like a rhino thing inside there that turns into an elephant later.
No. So you have two varieties of these snail aminal enemies. You have the snail elephants, and then you have the snail rhinos. When dormant, the snail elephants are kind of like cone snails in that they only just have like tubes sticking out. The rhinoceros snails, like this guy right here, is just always like that.
They don't.
You can tell the difference by the shell.
Okay, so there is. Okay, that answers my question.
Ooh, platypuses.
Also, platypus thingies.
Platypuffers, yeah.
Platypuffers, I'll call them that. Yeah, that's
They're
fine.
like pufferfish platypus.
Or you know what? Honestly, why are we even being that complicated? We can just call them what they really are: duck-billed porcupines.
Okay.
Or, a duck-billed pufferfish.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Aren't platypuses supposed to be like poisonous in real life?
Are they?
I think they have like a toxic secretion on their skin.
That's
or
right. Yeah, I heard it was something where, from what I recall, there's a toxic thing on their. I heard it was somewhere like there's a toxic thing on their flipper, but they don't know how to use it. They have to like poke you with the nail on it or something. It's like a slight venom. I'll look into that. But before I forget,
fun fact: those lemurs, like those really annoying as fuck lemur enemies, in the original they just throw nondescript fruit at you or like balls. In this version, they throw Wumpa fruit at you.
Yay for reused assets.
Mm-hmm.
References.
It's just a shame that Spyro is definitely allergic to Wumpa fruit.
So we must be careful and not get
And that's
hit.
why Spyro Orange will never work.
I mean, in all fairness, how would you feel if you had a Wumpa fruit like directly thrown at your face?
It depends on how firm it is, I guess.
Like, do you think it's firm like an apple? Do you think it's more like a peach where it's soft, like slightly malleable? Do you think it's just
squishable?
Coconut, squishable. Thank you.
Can I go back
I
real
imagine
quick?
it feels more like a mango because
Probably.
it's supposed to be a mango, didn't you know?
So what's up, hype?
They just die.
It's literally as hokey as whenever you just do one simple punch on a Mortal Kombat character as they have one pip of health, and they're just like, okay, I'm gonna fall down now.
Alright, one thing about this level that I find a little bit unique compared to the other levels in the game. So you have this big open area down here, and then you get up here, and you're already at the end of the stage.
That's the end.
Oh, hello there, Mr.
He was asleep the whole time.
Hence his name, Snoozle.
Alright, so let's get our talisman. Why not?
No, we're done with that, Ikki. Now they give us orbs.
Look at it.
Or, you know, it's a talisman shaped like an orb.
I will claim it as an orb. It's not an orb. An orb.
Or
Yeah, for some reason, Winter Tundra is completely devoid of any talismans.
And I'm honestly wondering why that's the case, though, considering it kind of feels like I appreciate it for the sake of if you want to get a move on, but it's kind of an abrupt change of pace.
It is.
Admittedly, when I was younger, one of my favorite parts of Spyro 2 is just collecting the talismans, because each one had, like, a unique, you know, design and everything.
These worlds just aren't special.
But when I get to Winter Tundra, it's like, man, this place really could have used a really cool-looking talisman, too.
The worlds weren't. The worlds just aren't that special.
I
Not
know.
to the people of
it's like they're
Avalon.
entirely optional at this point.
They really are,
Yeah.
actually. That is the sad part. They're completely bonus content. So,
Well,
Someone
they're
is
not
going to get
exactly
mad.
bonus content since, you know, you're goaded into going here anyways.
If you don't know,
Someone's gonna what, Logan?
Someone is going to get mad at me if I don't finish the thought that I was talking about last session because I've been
By
teasing
all
the
means,
potential.
Logan, take the stand.
Okay, because holy crap, Andre Sogliuzzo, I really hope I'm pronouncing it somewhere.
Put up his name in text, like, right there.
Yes. The reason why he was Norm and Zem in CTR Nitrofuel was because he was them in the original Nitro card.
Ah, nice.
He's also been the de facto Puss in Boots in anything that, you know, what's his face, whose name I'm completely forgetting for some
Antonio
reason.
Banderas.
Yeah, whenever Antonio Banderas is not around, he's been Puss in Boots.
Well, I wouldn't say all the time, because I know for the Netflix series that was Eric Balza.
Oh, okay. He was the two conductor, like, engineers in the Polar Express movie.
Like the actual movie or like the game
Like the
adaptation?
movie and the
Okay.
game adaptation. The two guys, like, up at the engine room. He was them. He was Boomy in Avatar.
Was
Booty.
Boomy the guy
right,
in,
the
like,
old...
one of the earlier episodes?
Yeah, the old man.
Yeah, he was.
in charge
He
of
was-
Yeah, the
engine.
one that was threatening to turn Katara and Sokka into, like, rock candy or whatever.
Correct.
Right,
That
because...
was him.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's, like, one of the only episodes
just
I
in-
remember.
It was a good episode. He was a fun character, and then
He was cool.
he was freaking he was the Bonapartes in Psychonauts. Fred and Napoleon Bonaparte.
Well, ain't that a hoot?
That took me by surprise because I just finished playing that game again.
They were quite a bone apart as we thought they were.
He's Ace Hardlight and Ratchet Deadlocked.
Hey, I remember that game.
That
Shame I
jerk.
didn't play much of it, though.
It's still fun, and I still think it's worth revisiting, which we will later.
Well, isn't it more like taking the Coliseum minigames from the main games and making into a single game?
Pretty effectively, they find ways to include like actual missions, so it's not just killing things non-stop. They have like objective-based things, but it really was just looking at the like series and thinking, well, the combat is probably one of the biggest selling points. Let's just go full force on it.
But Mr. Insomniac, sir, what if the fans don't like the lack of platforming?
There is platforming.
Oh, right, with the plank sections.
There's more. There's more.
Actually, you know what? It's also funny because, like, I don't know how in depth we talked about it, but I know we entertained the idea of, like, because that game does technically have co-op, we entertained the idea of Pi actually being his Clank for that playthrough for the channel.
That's what we're gonna try and do.
Or whatever other face that she wants to put on that little sucker.
Oh, hey, Professor.
We're gonna try. Hello, Professor.
You guys like trade quests? I like trade quests.
I love that. It's like,
If I don't have my pencil, I literally cannot do anything. I'm surprised I can still breathe without it.
Okay.
Well, at least he has this egg to give us.
I can't cope without my pencil, Spyro.
No, Ikki, the egg does not go to the duck, even though that does seem kind of logical. She wants something else. But yeah, basically your whole thing is that once you get the egg from the professor, now it's your job to figure out where to put the egg, and then the egg, where you get the place where you get the egg, they'll give you another item to take with you. Basically, it's a lot of back and forth.
Right. But
Essentially, you'll be noticing a whole bunch of props laid out around the level that seemingly have no purpose, but then you get to this quest and then everything clicks together.
which I like that. It's a fetch quest sans all the dialogue.
yeah. Hey, pick up the... There you go.
At the very least, it doesn't last the entire fucking game.
Whoop, there you go.
So we give the bird an egg and we get a, what's that, a carrot or beet?
It's a seed.
Or
Yeah, it's a
radish?
seed. No, seed.
Okay. So we get a seed and we have a flower pot right there.
Behold.
And... Foot-up. I'm sorry,
Are you too good for your new home?
Foot-up.
Oh, hey, you grew a peck neck.
For the second time.
And he somehow ate a rubber duck.
Anyways, so we take that little duckle and put him with the babboos.
Hopefully the mother isn't too picky.
And it's a rubber duck, by the way.
Oh.
And then we get a radish.
And the actual child there is like,
Mama, I don't think that's my brother.
I don't think he's breathing.
Shut up, boy! Don't you disrespect your brother like that!
I don't know.
you're fine. So, where do we take that fruit that whatever that thing was?
A
that-
beet, a radish, a turnip. Some kind of rooty, fruity vegetable.
Ah, a vegetable.
A nondescript foodstuff.
We put it.
Well, we go
Somewhere
to
here.
the aboriginal cave over here. We get some gems. We break
Yeah,
some
pick up
baubles.
the gems you missed.
Yeah. And then we see this little cooking pot right here.
Ooh.
Wonder what's in that
Let's
pot.
toss in one of these, and we get ourselves a mighty stew. Or, you know,
Which
something to chip our teeth into.
I think we just committed alchemy.
Maybe?
I wouldn't be surprised if it existed.
Anyways, this one took me for the longest time in the original because you don't necessarily pay anybody with the coin, you just toss it into the fountain for a new pencil.
Yeah. I wish for a pencil so the professor would shut up.
Wish granted, Dragon. I've been doing that all night, what the fuck?
Dragon the dragon.
But anyways, fun fact about that coin, by the way. In the original Spyro 2, if you looked at the coins, you'd see, like, some guy's face on them. That would be, Insomniac's late employee, Dan Johnson.
Ah.
Rest in peace, my good sir.
I've heard a few tales regarding this Dan person. There was a snowman made in his honor, if I'm not
A
mistaken.
Snow Dan, you mean?
Yeah.
That's right, snowman.
And in at least one of the Ratchet games, he's also a playable skin.
Oh, hey, it's the mayor again.
Maybe it's his second cousin, once removed.
Third removed.
Third removed. Gotcha.
Basil.
Anyways, we got, thieves to catch. Only this time they're not the neener kind of thieves. Instead,
Ow.
These thieves suck,
Yeah.
they're kangaroos!
and they're fast.
Really fast kangaroos.
Which is funny, because in the original, I think they were, like, foxes?
Were they? Oh, like maybe they were. Like they were using the exact same model of the ones from the Metro Speedway.
Maybe?
Actually, no, I look at it. They might not be kangaroos because the tail doesn't look like a kangaroo tail.
And they glide.
Actually, I think these are the exact same thieves we dealt with in Metro.
1 out of 4.
So yeah, have fun getting the rest of those spark plugs.
Mm-hmm. Because they're just really annoying to catch.
Yeah, they're very much on. They're running on the exact same sort of framework that the thieves from Spyro 1 and Spyro 3 work off of, where they can make a serious amount of distance, even if you're going at your absolute fastest. You have to do a lot of shortcuts.
How are you doing, Logan?
Not to mention you also have to make sure that you just don't fall off the pathway like up there in the trees.
Anyway, how are you doing, Logan?
I mean, I'm just watching you chase these kangaroo men,
Kangaroo-mans.
and I got so mad at Ikki
Why?
Why is
this
he
whole
mad?
bit because you were clearly doing this one in particular.
Oh, I was doing it in
until you
reverse, right.
finally turned back gears around 8 minutes later, and I was like, now you're chasing the way you're
One
supposed to.
eternity later.
He was making it much harder for himself than he had any right to.
One
Well, granted,
eternity.
it's not like there's any defined path that's visible. Like, this guy just goes down there,
Oh,
I fall in the water, and I get the key.
But there, the only way you could like really climb up is if you did that. But yeah, regardless, yeah.
Actually, yeah, no, Logan, tell us more about that VO we keep wanting to talk about.
or that you
I-
keep wanting to talk
I
about.
already did. That's all I got right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
all you.
Oh,
That's all
okay.
you made it seem like he was a much bigger deal than you.
He was in movies and video games.
He
Okay,
was
anytime.
important to me, and that's all that matters.
I'm throwing this out there. Any person who is a video game voice actor but also has been in movies I think that's a big deal because usually they usually are like corralled into two different territories, the video game voice actors and the movie voice actors.
And with that,
That's a
that
good
does
point.
it for Mystic Marsh.
Hooray!
Yahoo! You know what? I'm feeling gracious, so I'll go through the portal this time.
Now don't go to sleep again.
Yeah, you
Please
better
don't.
not.
Let's see how these guys are up doing.
Is he rubbing his back against it?
I think so.
No.
He's asleep again.
He's a sleepy baby.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Wake
So what came first, his name or his narcolepsy?
I don't know.
You know what? That is a struggle. He ain't looking.
I'm glad I got a laugh out of James with that one.
Back to sleep.
I mean, that's honestly a question that only his mother could answer.
He has a mother?
I didn't name him.
I thought they were just like frog people.
Something like that.
People.
They do kind of have a little. They do have a little bit of that to them, but
Like an albino crazy frog.
yeah. But
Anyways,
we're on
let's
to
go
our next
meet their
level.
cousins over in China.
Yeah,
Alright.
they do the same kind of thing here with the monks from the first world.
Cloud temples.
Welcome to Cloud Temples, where we get to see another lovely bit of surreal weirdness we have to go solve.
Of wizards and warlocks.
And they just can't make up their minds on who wants what.
Well, he's gonna take initiative.
Oh boy.
My wand!
Never thought of that, did you?
My rear end!
I'm funny.
And off he goes.
Now, these guys honestly look like they could very well be Muppets.
Well, no, they're just like yellow versions of the guys from Mystic Marsh. It's just like a recolor of the robes.
I mean, either or, they still kind of look Muppet-esque.
Anyways, these guys are relatively pathetic.
I mean, granted, how many enemy varieties in this game aren't really all that pathetic?
The lemurs in the previous level.
True.
Like, they just throw the fucking Wumpa Fruit non-stop.
Yeah, I mean, if they're just standing there getting ready to launch their attack, then they're pretty much dragon fodder by that point.
By the way, here we have one of my absolute most favorite enemies in the game, the stupid purple dragon goat thing right there.
Why these in
Like
particular?
this. Look at this little guy. Look at him! Look at him!
Facey face.
And he laughs at your expense!
Way to rub it in, game.
But no, in the original Spyro 2, it would always crack me up to get hit by them because instead of doing like a generic they would go like
So they have their own Nelson laugh.
yeah. But it was really funny to me, so...
This level, I do recall being a fair breeze.
It's linear, but it's... I don't know, I like the aesthetic.
The only other thing I distinctly remember from this level is that we actually beat the third representative of that whole spy agency that those two twins are a part
Ah,
of.
yes. The one that they changed. Well, more like neutered for the remake. Ugh.
They were both pretty stupid.
No, I mean, like, they neutered his voice. Another example of the voice acting for this remake not being that fondly remembered. Or at least, not my favorite.
If you say so. But we'll meet up with him.
Also, where'd you come from?
I was over there the whole time.
I was hiding in his ropes the entire time. That was a secret judge of test of character, my boy Spyro. I was the warlock all along.
You would not believe the things I saw under those drapes. No secrets will be mine and mine alone.
Also, that's a fun little thing I like about this level. So, all the generic enemies outside the warlocks are reduced to stone, including the fodder, the sheep.
Yep. I mean, if there's to be balance, it has to be in stone. Otherwise, those evil-looking warlocks will just, undo that magic.
Yeah. But, hey, they break out of their stone casings as soon as you get close to them, so...
Logan, Hype, what do you two make out of this level so far?
I mean, as always, I love the expressiveness of the enemies, like the
Do you like
wide-eyed
the Eastern
green.
Asian aesthetic?
I'm gonna be honest and say that as far as that aesthetic goes, this level kind of blurs a little bit for me in the like, because heads up, we're gonna get like, I've seen like 6 or 7 levels that have the hidden temple in the clouds aesthetic, like in Spyro 1, Spyro 2, at least twice, in Spyro 3.
If anything, this is more akin to Xiaolin Showdown than anything.
I guess, I don't know, just again, the monks in the hidden temple is something that I'm surprised by how often I have seen it in Spyro, so the level is not... The characters stand out to me more so than the levels, which is why Spyro will not even dignify this man with looking him in the eye.
I forgot about that. I think he's automatically supposed to, like, turn to face the wizard.
I
But in
guess
that
maybe
case, he
because
just
he's in the
didn't.
Maybe because you're in the middle of an attack charge or something, so I didn't have time to. Well,
Maybe.
regardless, you're just gonna keep going for it. And that in this level is not even really that long. Like there's just 2 big towers at this point, and that's kind of the area.
So who's
and that
Big Chungo over there, anyways?
That right there is the 3rd representative of the spy agency.
that's the Schnitzel salesman.
Is he a secret agent?
Schnitzel, the favorite
That's what, that's what he likes to tell himself on a Tuesday night.
Schnitzel, famous something.
What the fuck?
Make sure you keep an extra one for later in your lederhosen.
Oh wait, are you quoting Hoodwinked?
Yes,
Yes.
because this
Holy
guy reminded
shit.
me a little. Because this guy reminded me. I said he looks like your local Schnitzel salesman.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he looks like the huntsman.
I mean, I'll give him credit where it's due. He definitely, lost a lot of weight in between movies.
Yeah, basically we need to trail him without him seeing us. And yeah, we actually showed James that movie for the first time. He had never seen that a while ago.
Yeah.
It was gold.
Yes, it was.
It's super dated visually, but writing wise, I think it holds up.
I mean, I'm willing to make an argument that I'm not going to say people have to think it doesn't look bad, but there's a part of me that kind of understands that, like, it's good. Maybe it's because I also took the time to listen to the audio commentary, but they're very self-aware of how low budget it is, so they thought, like,
really?
okay, we don't have the technology to make it look super good. How about we just try to make it stylized, almost kind of like, a modern-day Reignited film?
Also, I must say, Ikki, you are very, very bold to be right up this dude's grill when he's.
I mean, you
on his
kind
way
of have
super tied
to,
out.
otherwise you lose track of him.
I don't think you have to be that like. You don't
No,
have to
you
be
do.
too far. Like, no, you don't have to be like too close to him. Like, just not too far, not too close. Like, there's a middle ground you can follow.
You got some pretty plants. So, anyways, I hope you like our little foray into Metal Gear Schnitzengruben.
And yeah, basically, his logic is, oh, you're inside the secret hideout that only I knew about, and only members of my secret club I've never extended invitations to could be here. You must be in the club.
And I'm a little bummed out that this guy actually never returns after this point. Like the 2 twins we met up with earlier do return for 1 level. In
Yeah, the
Spyro
weird
3.
little baby children show up in the 3rd game, but not this guy.
I'd like to imagine that he just did one too many dangerous assignments and it just never worked out.
No, he had too many Schnitzengruben, that's why.
Either that, or he didn't meet the appropriate age requirement to stick around.
You must be at least this short to join the secret club.
They asked him to go undercover as a Schnitzel salesman, and it went so well that he forgot to come out from cover, and he's still been working there ever since.
Last I heard, he finally got around to joining the Happy Yodelers on their singing tour.
Also undercover. There's got to be something. You know what it is? Okay, I remember
What
now.
the hell are these?
We get to one of the coolest things that this game introduces to the franchise that was later brought back in Enter the Dragonfly that everyone hated.
Ice breath.
Elemental breath powers.
Well, actually, they introduced this. They bring this power up back for Spyro 3 for one of my least favorite levels in the game.
But yeah, all being said, I feel like, it's definitely a lot more limited use in 2 and 3 than it would in, like, Heroes Tale and Era of the Dragonfly.
So, we gotta freeze these little Freddy Freaker fucks in order to ring the bells.
Yeah, they're a handful to be certain, but it is still interesting to me how, like, the original trilogy, like, there was always the concept of elemental breath. It's just that it was very much context sensitive. Like, it was only something you could activate through these super gates, whereas in every other game that would feature the element, like, it's something that Spyro could swap to on the fly. It's just a matter of if they would be necessary.
Anyways, this guy is weird, like this particular little fire troll, only because he only goes over here after you ring the first bell.
He knows his purpose, even if he is on fire.
Yes, I am video game element. Allow me to make my change of place.
Pretty much.
I suppose you want an orb for doing that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're missing one more bell.
There's still
What?
1 bell left. You can get
Also, I believe that's also Roger Craig Smith.
It is.
Probably, yeah. A whirlwind behind him.
Oops.
Oops.
Yeah, I
Looks like
missed
we're missing something.
some gems in there.
No
That
worries.
always the worst feeling.
Granted, they're
Around
not
here.
very hard to get, so...
On the bright side, when you're using elemental breath in this area, it still carries the similar properties to that of the fire breath. It'll still break pots that have gems in them, or incapacitate foes.
Yeah, but it serves more as a concentrated projectile than a wide-ranging breath.
Not that it means much of anything, considering that's kind of what you're using the flame breath for anyway.
Oh no, the ice is clipping into the other ice. What do we do now?
Yes. They'll thaw out eventually.
Let's just ring the bell.
Whee!
Oh.
I misread his name as Mugen.
Have a souvenir for the
Mugen.
cloud temple's gift.
Ah, fighting game engine, the wizard.
The strongest of wizard.
He knows all the fat moves of the generation.
And then some.
Do you think people still use Mugen?
They do. In fact, one of the fan games I'm helping out with, Mega Man Robot Master Mayhem, that's running on the latest version of the engine.
Interesting.
Alright, this stupid little guy's annoying because you have to freeze him there so you get enough height to get the rocket over here. And because we have ice breath, we can't ignite the rocket until freeze breath wears out.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I would
There
have
we
loved
go.
it if it was one of those, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, lack of observation, where it still has the same properties of fire breath and just freezer burn.
Hey, that works.
Also, of course, there's always that one gem or two that's out of Sparks' reach.
I should have known those were there, but I didn't.
It happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for this level.
Yep.
It came and it went.
Just like a cloud in the sky.
Ayago!
Oh.
Dude,
Oh, what now?
Oh no.
Running away.
Bye.
You can't run away from love.
Why do you deny me this relationship I look so long for?
So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, next part, we're actually going to take a very deep and early dive into Insomniac's consideration for the Ratchet & Clank series.
Ooh, historical value in next part.
Bye.